Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of ROM editing. If you have not seen this series before, we are essentially taking a Gen 3 Fire Red ROM hack and editing all of the Gen 3 Pokemon, making adjustments, new typings, new abilities, and stat changes to essentially try our best to make Pokemon as viable as we can. Now, before this episode gets started off, I do have an update on the progress of the game and essentially what's been going on. But if you're not here for that and you just want to check out the Pokemon, I should have a timestamp of the first Pokemon. But for right now, we're going to have a kind of an update. And I do have a notepad to talk about what has been going on. So, first things first, I messed up big time. I did not save a backup and I was working with one copy the entire time. And specifically when I was doing changes on Delibird, when I thought I was opening up free space for an extra move slot, yeah, that wasn't real. It actually was deleting the free space for movements, so I could only move down, and it got rid of all my other control movements, and essentially the game was soft locked and I didn't know how to fix it, so I had to start back over. I think at the beginning of Gen 2, so from Gen 2 to Gen 3 I had to re-input all of the changes, stat changes, stats, all of this, and this tooling is not very great. So I have had to go back through and finish all of them. But with that being said, I did go back and change a couple typings, made some cooler typings that make sense, and I also added a really cool thing of signature moves to a lot of Pokemon that seemed bad, and hopefully they will be more enjoyable when the game comes out. Let's see, anything. I'm not going to go over the changes that I did for the past Pokemon. I want it to be a surprise for the game. Obviously, I think that would make it more fun. Yeah, signature moves are added. As you can see on screen, Nosepass has Magnet Pulse, which is a new move. I'm not going to go over what it is, but eventually when I'm done with this series, I'm also going to drop the documents if you want to see what the changes are, and for both the moves and the Pokemon. So right now I have finished all the Pokemon and the signature moves. I do have some open move slots for more signature moves, so if you have any thoughts on a Pokemon that should get a signature move, that's no spoilers. I haven't given one, I'll let you know, I guess. But if you have any Pokemon that you think deserves a signature move that I have not added yet, feel free to drop one down. So right now I am finished with all the Pokemon, so I'm going to be looking into grass encounters, putting new encounters like the encounter table obviously, and grass and towns that normally didn't work, and then from there I'll go on to trainers. I don't know if I'm going to add more trainers or I'm just going to deal with the same trainers but just like give them better Pokemon. Still thinking about that, but after this series of Pokemon editing, hopefully we'll go directly into gameplay, because I have been kind of spacing out these videos on purpose, so hopefully I will have time to just go directly into gameplay after this. And then after this series is done and we drop a couple gameplay videos, I do some small edits on the game, I will make a video evaluating the ROM and kind of like judging it for how it is, where I went wrong and what is wrong with the game. But I can continue talking about that later, but essentially like the future of the ROM and like what I want to do. Essentially when this is all over and done with, I don't think I'm going to make any crazy changes to it or keep updating it. I think I spent a lot of time. This is definitely a cool project, and I think I would want to do this again in the future, but just when I have a lot more time, because right now I'm kind of in a crunch with school and working at the same time and trying to balance out my social life. But I think also kind of what it's important is to show off other people's ROMs, because I don't think that gets shown off a lot, because I think whenever I'm done with this, I'm really going to start going for ROMs that people made that are a little bit low-key or people don't know about, and just doing some either casual playthroughs or Nuzlockes, because there's a lot of great ROMs out there that like essentially no one plays. So I think that'll also be good for the community in terms of like supporting you know, people that make ROMs and kind of make this community so great, and Nuzlocking and all that stuff, and kind of showing off some more ROMs that are a little bit underrated. But that is the plan. We just had 5 minutes of updates, so without further ado, let's jump into some changes. So moving forward, we have Torkoal, which is pure fire type. I don't believe I made any significant changes to Torkoal because I already considered him very, very decent. He's getting a pretty standard moveset, Ember, Curse, Acid, Fire Spin, Body Slam, blah blah. Nothing really significant here. Gets Flamethrower pretty early, which goes really well with its Drought. Torkoal obviously being a Drought setter, I'm not even going to give him another ability just because I want Drought to be so prevalent with Torkoal. Gets Spikes at 39, which is really cool because obviously Stealth Rock isn't in the game, so Spikes being more available to a lot more Pokemon is what I've decided to do. Solar Beam is also really cool. Earthquake and Eruption, pretty standard Torkoal stuff, but obviously Spikes is a little bit different. Getting rid of Rapid Spin because I find Rapid Spin to be trash in this game. Earthquake and Eruption. Moving forward, we have, oh, not Wishcast, Sableye, who I know for a fact I did make some changes. Was 380 base stat. That is so terrible. Now at 455 with a very high 105 attack stat, 90 special attack stat, 85 defense, and 75 special defense. Still has Keen Eye. I don't know why I gave it that. That does not sound right. We're changing this. What should this be though? I'll have to look over this. Why is Keen Eye is terrible, right? Yeah, accuracy? No, I literally got rid of all accuracy things. I swear, I almost want to say that this was Shadow Tag, but I'm not going to run with it. You know what? I think it was Keen Eye, but we're going to run with Hyper Cutter because I like that better. I'll have to change that in the docs whenever I'm done with this, but Scratch, Leer, Astonish, Thief, Metal Claw, Rock Tomb, Fake Out, Feint Attack, Shadow Punch, Confuse Ray, Knockoff, Shadow Ball, and Swagger. Just some kind of standard Sableye stuff. Since Sableye has no weaknesses in this game, these buffs are going to make Sableye a lot better. I think that's why I had Keen Eye as the ability and I didn't want to change it, because I think the combination of its stats and the stat buff will make this Pokemon really strong. So hopefully this isn't too overpowered, but Hyper Cutter is not like a crazy overpowered ability. So yeah, this is Sableye. He will be a lot better for sure. Interesting enough, I did not give him Shadow Sneak though. That's weird. He needs Shadow Sneak. Let's get rid of... Let's get rid of Shadow Punch. And just make Shadow Ball its signature move. Or signature Shadow move at late, so... Alright, moving forward. I'm definitely gonna have to remember to do that. Moving forward, we have Barboach. Oblivious, Rain Dish. Nothing really significant here. Gets Aqua Jet pretty early on, which is really cool. And Rest and Sleep Talk before evolving. Obviously really good. Because Wishcast can sometimes be bulky. And it even gets Sucker Punch later on, which Wishcast does not get from level up. But we'll look at that. I believe I did not give it a level up. Then we have Wishcast. He does get Sucker Punch. I'm all over the place. I have not looked at these changes in a while. 468 was the stat total. I don't think I made any differences. Yep. Stats are still the same. So Wishcast is very bulky, and then later games he is known for Dragon Dancing, so we obviously had to put Dragon Dance on the set. Sucker Punch is good priority, which I think will surprise a lot of people. It's not going to do crazy amount of damage, but I think it's kind of cool that Wishcast knows Sucker Punch. Future Sight, also another interesting move. Why Wishcast can learn Future Sight in the first place makes no sense to me, but it's already in the base game. Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Bubble Beam. Essentially, I'm not giving it crazy water type moves because eventually when you have Surf, you're going to be tossing Surf at pretty much everything. Thick Fat's really good ability also for Wishcast because ice damage you would normally be taking neutrally, but now you're taking resisted damage, and obviously fire types you're taking like abysmal damage. Next change is really huge. We have Luvdisc, and I know you may have just gotten a little sneak peek of why. The Luvdisc is now water electric, and that is because its shiny form gives us very electric-y vibes, which I thought I really liked. There is of course water electric type and Lantern, but Lantern is very bulky, so I want to do something very unique with Luvdisc and kind of make him a what would you say, glass cannon? Yeah, definitely the wording. With 130 special attack, which is huge, and really high speed with 97 speed. Pretty low HP defense and special defense, which is the whole point of it being glass cannon. 97 speed is still really good, outspeeding most things above 90, but obviously not hitting that 100 mark. But looking at its movesets, we have Water Gun, Charm, Thunder Shock, Thunder Wave, Sweet Kiss, Spark, Psychic, Thunder Pump, and Hydro Pump. Honestly, this thing will probably be a beast because Water and Electric are special in this game. So it's going to be throwing off some crazy hits. And I did make changes in the game where this sprite will show up as the common form, meaning that all Luvdisc will be shiny like their normal, and then their shiny variant will just be normal Luvdisc. But yeah, I think this change works really well for Luvdisc, especially this typing. I think the water electric typing is not, it's very strong offensively, and it's pretty good, and it's a little bit wasted on Lantern because he's kind of bulky. So we'll definitely be seeing, very interesting to see what will happen when Luvdisc is on the field, throwing off some nasty thunderbolts and hydro pumps. Has the ability in Lightning Rod, which can be good sometimes. I mean, you're immune to electric type moves, but you're not taking crazy amounts of damage. But you know, having immunity is always nice, and it also increases your special attack, I believe. So Lightning Rod is pretty good, going along with its very high special attack stat. And yeah, that is Luvdisc. Moving forward, we have Corphish, Shell Armor, Water Veil, kind of standard. Aqua Jet super early on, Thief, Bubble Beam, Protect, Knockoff Taunt, Knockoff being its final move before it turns into Crawdaunt, which I have made some changes because Crawdaunt is obviously Water Dark type, but in Gen 3, obviously Water and Dark are special moves, or special typing, because the way that the physical special split works. So I swapped the attack and special attack stat, also gave it Water Absorb as a secondary ability instead of Water Veil. Who knows? Wait, did I do that on purpose? That's not right. It's supposed to be Water Veil. That's wrong. Yeah. Lots of things that need to change in the dock, and we're almost at 12 minutes. Damn. Okay. Crab Hammer, Fresh Claw, still works well on its 90 base attack. Swords Dance, obviously very good for those physical type moves, and then Dragon Claw also works really well with its special attack stat, which I thought was really cool. Crunch, and then Dragon Dance, and I'm pretty sure Dragon Dance increases your attack in this game, which is not great for Crawdaunt, but giving that speed boost is still very useful. Moving forward, we have Feebas, Swift Swim, Water Gun, Tackle, Flail, then evolves into Melodic by level up at 25, which is very similar to how Magikarp would evolve into Gyarados. And then we obviously have Melodic. I'm pretty sure there's no changes to this. Yeah, looking at it, I'm pretty sure there's no changes to this because Melodic is a beast. It's Aqua Jet, Refresh, and Water Pulse at 20, then learning Twister, Recover, Rain Dance, Hydro Pump, Toxic, Dragon Breath, and Safeguard. Obviously, this thing is a defensive monster, especially with Recover, and learning Toxic naturally on its own is very strong. Definitely bulky and Stallymon. And obviously, if you activate its Marvel Scale ability, you're getting double defense, which is very good. Is it double defense now? It might be 1.5 in this game, but finally we have Carvahna, Speed Boost, Rough Skin, Bite, Leer, Water Gun, Quick Attack, Crunch, Swagger, Ice Fang before evolving into Sharpedo. And same thing happened with Crawdaunt that happened to Sharpedo because he has very high attack stat, but does not reflect his typing because Water and Dark are both special. So we now have 120 special attack and 95 attack. Getting these are not sorted. Slash, Poison Fang, Psychic Fangs, which is really cool. Agility, Skull Bash, Hydro Pump, and Hydro Cannon. I've been deciding to throw some Hydro Cannons on Pokemon that might normally get it. Not necessarily the user might use them, but the AI might use them, and would love to see some Hydro Cannon Sharpedo. Speed Boost, obviously seen in its later generations, very frail. So if this Pokemon is able to get a couple Speed Boosts up and your team is weak, then it might be able to sweep you. But yeah, Sharpedo is a beast for sure. And I think that's it for today's video because I don't want to make it too long. I'm sorry that the update was very long, but next video it'll just be all Pokemon coverage. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.